Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back. Today, we are going to do a little tutorial on how to make an inexpensive Christmas gift because the holidays are here and my head is spinning already. We don't have all that cash to buy loads of presents. And as I said in my last video, very often people just recycle the gifts, right? So you go and spend a fortune thinking, wow. And then the person who gets the gift is very happy, but next year it gets given to someone else or something like that. So here we go. This is the first one. This cost me about, excuse the tile, the thing, if you can see it. All right, so that's tile. That's the back. It's a box frame. That came with the frame. And then, you see, what a cool gift. Okay, I know I broke the glass on the bottom, but, you know, I can paint that in. It's not the end of the world. There. So that's a nice gift to give somebody, and it'll cost you maybe, depending on what the frame costs you, you can always go to charity shops and get a box frame, or you can get a frame anywhere between 3 and 5 quid. That's it. And then the little tile, you can pick them up anywhere for like a quid or anything. It just looks like a picture, which is really cool. So this one, I'm going to put the camera down onto this one. There we go. And I'm sure you can see it, right? Just make sure. Yeah. So this, I thought about sticking onto the back of this cardboard like that, and then over it would go this thingy, you know, the border. And remember, we're doing mindfulness, so what do? I count 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got this. I'm having fun, loving it. Now, it overlaps the border. So I'm going to put it inside the border. That's the cardboard border, I mean. And just, if I can get it there, it would be fun. Hold on. You see, that's the thing with when you're making stuff like this, you have to be really calm. So for a bit of mindfulness, I'll think, what can I smell? I can smell the glue. Where here I used it, made an absolute mess. I'll show you here. I tried to make it look a little bit aged. Nah, but I came up with the better plan, which I think you're going to love. Because it's that color normally, and I thought I'd make it look sort of aged. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the back, because some of the board, I'll lift you up to me, some of this board is going to show, even if I put the border on, you see, it's going to be difficult. So what I'll do is I'm just going to do a little bit of paint. What color? That's the back of the picture frame, right? So I thought, why don't we use a bronzy color? Because it ages things nicely. And, you know, that's kind of what I like. But the back of the board, I think I'm going to paint a unicorn spit. That's purple. You can hear the noise outside. So while we do this, because there's no rush, we can go through what we can hear. So I can hear the paint when I do this. You can hear it. Right? I can hear the people grinding next door. I can hear the soft noise of me taking the lid off the paint. And then I'm going to put some paint on. Let me just show you how I'm doing this. Okay, I really hope you can see, my friends. So I'm just going to do it, okay, on the kind of outside here, because we know that inside this border, no one's going to see anything. But if any color shows, the reason I've used dark purple instead of white, this unicorn spit can be watered down with water, but I'm not bothering. I'm just doing you a quick why do they say Happy Christmas? Isn't it supposed to be Merry Christmas? I mean, where did happy, it's the same as when women are aging and they go through the menopause and they say they're having hot flashes, but some people say hot flashes. So here we go, we wait for the paint to dry. And while we're waiting for that to dry, so what that should do, I hope, is cover, oh, they are drilling, I wonder what they're making, is just bring the color out a bit in case it doesn't cover it. If it doesn't, we can always use more. This you just wash off with water, it's easy. But now here's a fun trick. So while that dries, lift you up to me again. Hello. While that dries, and remember that's just because there is a space between this thing and the white border. So if it's not big enough, we'll paint it a little bit more. It's no problem, it dries very quickly. So here is my little sign, which I picked up ages ago. And I thought I would be quite clever today, but clever didn't work. It's okay, I'm fine. Okay, I put glue here and then I used some of my chalk dust thinking I'd make it look a bit sort of old and shabby. Didn't work. The glue has stuck like to a blanket and I got another plan. So what I did was I got my let's clean this brush off. Oh golly, I'll just use a different brush. I've got this paint, it's copper. And what I'm going to do with it is, I'm going to show you, hang on. I've got some in this little thingamajig paint thing. So it's just a little glass jar. You know, when you buy those desserts, just keep the glass jars because they are useful, you know. You never know, they are useful. So I'm going to turn the camera down towards this thing and show you what we're doing. I just want to make sure that you can see. Can you see properly? Yeah, just this thing can get out the way. Okay, now we're going to make this look a bit aged. So here you see it's really kind of white. Here I've already aged it a bit. And how? Put my brush into the bronze paint and then just go over it like this. At the moment I'm just going over the writing. Then I take a cloth, a dry cloth, and I rub it. And what that does is it gives it a super different kind of more interest, I think. And you just rub, there's no rush, you just have to, you know, make sure the paint doesn't dry before you finished rubbing it. And then if you want to add more, so I think I'm going to add more so the whole thing looks colored, right? And there's the paint, you can see it here. Okay, it's difficult filming like this because I can't see you and you can't really see me, can you? So I'm going to put some more paint on there, over there, up to the top, and here. I say do it in small sections simply because if you make a mistake, it's easier to fix a small section than a longer one. So there, and unfortunately that's just going to have to be part of the look of it. You know, old, chic, shabby, I suppose that's in, yeah? That's trending. And then while you're doing this, for mindfulness, what can I smell? So, smell the paint. I can smell this paint. I can smell my coffee that's sitting in the corner. Again, I can hear them drilling. And why I'm talking to you like this is because it's a practice in mindfulness. So then the last thing we'll do is just the bottom. I think it looks quite nice. Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's a good ethos too, the Viking code. It's not going to go over here, so I'm not quite sure what we're going to do about that. It's quite sad, really. Anyway, so here we go. And I know I should have a cloth on the table, but you know, what I do is when I'm finished painting, I just clean the table very quickly because it's all water-based stuff, so it's not difficult. And if it's not water-based, like this, I put glue on, which so didn't work. Then I went and got my fabulous nail polish remover. When I don't wear nail polish, I use it to clean up glue, but it doesn't want to come off. So we're just going to have to live with it. So, I don't know, I think that looks, I think that looks quite nice. Let me just finish it here a little bit. You can always rub very hard, and you can rub in circles if you have to. That works as well. So yeah, okay, so for now, I'm going to let it be like that. You see? So now it looks kind of old and cool. I like the shabby chic thing. I don't know. This camera's not straight. A lot of people don't, but I think it's fun. Yeah? So let's see what happens with the board. I'll show you now. I stick it. I don't think I've painted far enough out. Oh dear. I'll turn the camera down so you can see it. Excuse my tracksuit pants, but you know, it's so cold here. I can barely breathe. I mean, I can barely cope. So you can see that, right? Now if we put the border on, it already looks nicer with the color. So to get this thing, yeah, you can see a little bit of the purple pop there, so therefore you don't see the board, and it's where to place it. So it's here, right? Let me just find my glue so I had it with me, but you know what? Let's have a chat. When you have ADHD and you have bipolar disorder, and the two go clang together, sometimes when you're working on something, you've put something you need down somewhere. We don't know where. And that's half the problem, is that trying to keep everything together is so important. But if you find you can't find something, then just breathe it out. So we go in to 4, hold it to 4, and then just breathe it out. Another good trick is to put some music on. But I would suggest, it's up to you, but I would suggest something calming or something that's just, and then put it on a loop. Some people like loud rock music. That's also fine. But just put on a playlist that you really enjoy while you're doing this, because that makes a lot of difference. Hearing that, if it's calming, and if you find while you're doing this, you start to get annoyed, then stop, 5 minutes, and then come back. So I'm not yet annoyed. It's just that I've lost the glue. Oh, I found the glue. Sorry, guys. So here's my super glue. So now I'm going to pan the camera down to show you, because I'm not quite sure where I'm going to put this. Okay, I think it's about there. So I'm taking you down. Okay, make sure you can see it. Yep, you can. Oh, here I am. Okay. There. I don't know what they're doing next door. They're making such a noise. But anyway, that's fine. Probably, yay, happy Christmas time. Move that out the way. There. That looks pretty cool, no? I could even maybe make this look a bit older with a tea bag. Let's see. So if you've got any ideas on what you would do, I'd love to hear them in the comments. So I think I'm about safe if I stick it on here. Now I'm not measuring like geometry. Oh, sometimes you start doing that and someone will say, no, we got to line it up perfectly. And yeah, it should be, but you know what? What's perfect? So I'm going to pick it up here, right? And I'm going to put some glue. This is super glue, so it will stick. Well, if I took the top off, it would work. I'm sorry. Okay, so we just put some super glue around it. Don't need much. Stuff feels like it's running out. I've been crafting things for a few days now because it's so good for you, especially if you struggle with anxiety or you're feeling depressed. And we just stick it down, hold it. I'll hold it on there for a while. Good grief, they're making a noise. Make this straight. Thanks for your patience with me. So while this dries, I'm pushing it down. I'll talk about the holidays and mental health, mental illness. I struggle with this, guys. I'm going to keep calling it mental illness because there's no health in mental illness. I don't understand the term. Now, if somebody can explain that to me, then I'd be very grateful because I cannot get it. You got mental illness, you're mentally ill. You're not mentally healthy, whatever. Maybe there's two separate kinds of mental illness or health. Anyway, so as I'm pushing this down, I thought I'd tell you what's important is to know that during the holidays, those of us with bipolar, with ADHD, with depression, with especially treatment-resistant depression, oh God, that's the worst, and PTSD, CPTSD, these things get triggered. And why do they get triggered? Well, because you see images on the TV or on your phone about everyone's having so much fun, aren't they? And they just, everything's tickety-boo for them. And you're just thinking, I got no money. I don't really want to see anyone because I'm feeling a bit claustrophobic. Yeah, been there, done that too. And I don't want to go and buy presents with money I don't have for what? It's for children. So anyway, that's just what I do. So it's important to practice some mindfulness, and that is when you get triggered, breathe, okay? And I've heard this been said to me by various therapists, and I've always thought, oh my word, can they give me something else to do other than just breathe? Because that becomes boring for me, which it does, because I'm changing this setting because it's very dark in here. But it works. Breathing actually calms you down. So you can breathe in for 4 and hold it for 4 and then just breathe, let it all out, just out. That's a very good trick. And then also you want to then start being mindful, if you can remember to do this, because remember the ADHD brain is on steroids. It's just going mad. Twine that with bipolar and you've got a cluster of mammoth proportions if it's a bad day. So just do that. Try the breathing. try also to notice what you're looking at. Like I can look outside. I'm looking at, sorry, looking at you. I can see a plant there and I notice all of the stuff. So now when all the noise comes in from outside that goes on in your head, you shut it off when you start purposely noticing plant, statue, fence, things like that. Even if it's for just a few minutes, that works better than nothing. All right, guys. Sorry, my chest is about to explode. I think we are ready to stick this on, and it's not straight. And no, I don't care. I'm going to pan you down. Hold on a second. Right, now, make sure you can see it. Okay, can you see? It's a little bit out, but I don't think it's going to be a huge problem. This here looks terrible, and I'm not quite sure what to do about that, except maybe just put a bit of paint on it. Then that looks even worse. Oh my word, I think I should stop. So I'll just rub that. It's fine, it's how it is. So that, we got the board, we've got this on. Now we're going to take the box frame and we're going to put the glass. I hope you can see this. I'm so sorry if you can't. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move you out so that you can see this whole thing going down. Where are you? There you are. Okay. So now the glass is on top. It's a bit, well, it's picked up a bit of flux. So let's just quickly give it oh dear. Oh dearie me. We don't get cross with things. Oh, no, I'm okay. Everything's cool. I'm fine. I hope this thing is... Where is it? Is it dirty on the inside or the outside? No, and I'm not using the dirty parts of the cloth, I promise. Okay, so basically, what I will do after this video is I'll clean the glass down with glass cleaner, because it's not playing cricket. In other words, it ain't working. So this is a little bit skew, so I'll try and pull it a bit straight. Okay. Then we have the frame. So this is going to go into the frame like this. Oy vey, hold on. There's probably a much easier way to do this, but you know, it's me. So I do things the hard way. I could have, you know what? I should glue this thing down. Why didn't you guys tell me? Okay, so let's move on. I'm just kidding. So let us glue the border down. A little bit of glue there. Glue, thank you. On the corner. There you go. And then glue on the corner. It's not exactly on the corner, is it? Hang on. I think I have to take the glue out of here. Okay, the glue's not playing cricket with me, so I'm going to ignore it. We're going to put it in anyway, just so you get the idea. But yes, glue this border down to the back. And then let's do this quickly. So I'm turning that over. I'm turning this over to make it all stick into the box frame with a bit of luck. No idea how it's going to work because the border I didn't glue. Wasn't that smart, was it? Hold on, let's second. Sometimes we've got to work out what the problem is. The problem here is that this, okay, the glass was not in straight. So sometimes you're going to have to just redo that. Okay. Okay. The border has to stick in here because it comes, there we go. Thank you, Deborah. You're not that silly. Okay, and then you stick your little sign or your tile or whatever it is over it. The corners go in. Sometimes these funny little things that okay, so then you push all these things down. Excuse my hands. I've got the worst hands, you know that. Some people think they've got the worst this and that, but you know what? I just say that it's working hands, you know. I like to make things and I like to have fun while I'm doing it and not make it into a massive task. What do we got? You see? Let's pick you up. Here I am. Okay, now we've got this. What a long video. And so we've got that. Isn't that cool? Right? That gift will cost you, okay, obviously I can send to this better, which we can always come back to. But that, for someone to hang on their wall, is quite a cool gift. So that's just one idea, which I thought I would share with you. And I hope you find it helpful, because Christmas can be very expensive, very stressful, and it doesn't have to be. All right? There we go. Remember to breathe deeply, to keep saying, I'm okay. The picture, you're okay. Doesn't matter. Nothing we can't fix. Nothing so bad. And before you start doing anything, please have all your stuff in front of you. Not like I try to, but sometimes I forget. Okay, if this has helped, or if you've got some good, inexpensive hacks, I don't like using the word cheap, but inexpensive for Christmas gifts, please put it in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll be back with you soon. Ciao.